When I hear the name SilverBolt, do I think of the G1 commander of the aerial bots or the heroic Maximal Fusor from the Beast Wars? I'm going to share that with you right now. What's up, Transformers fans? Mondo here with the Moonbase 84 transmission. Quickly before we get into today's video, I just want to say thanks to everybody who's been supporting the channel by subscribing, watching, and liking the videos. And if this is your first time stumbling upon my channel, if you could also like, subscribe, and all that jazz, I'd really appreciate it. Okay, SilverBolt has been a name used since the aerial bots came on the scene way back in the G1 days. And there have been multiple iterations of that character over the 4 decades of Transformers history. But there is the SilverBolt from the Beast Wars era. The Beast Wars SilverBolt is his own character that has nothing to do with the leader of the aerial bots. Today, I'm going to break down each character that bears the SilverBolt name and share with you who I immediately think of when I hear the name, as well as give you my opinion on which character has been more impactful to Transformers in general. I'd also love to hear who your version of SilverBolt is in the comments. Okay, let's get into it. We'll start off with the G1 SilverBolt because he came first, so that makes the most sense. Debuting in 1985 in the G1 Transformers cartoon, the original SilverBolt was the commander of the aerial bots, who were the combiner team who formed Superion. And what I like about this SilverBolt is that he was one of the few members of a combiner team in G1 that actually had a fleshed out characterization. Most combiner team members in G1 were background characters for the most part and were there to form part of their combiner and of course to sell their toys. But not SilverBolt. He had character, and even as a kid I found him very interesting. Being the leader of a team of flyers, SilverBolt had the ironic character trait of the fear of heights. That's a pretty cool twist the writers did and enabled SilverBolt to be the rare combiner to have a bit of a character arc. His fear made both himself and the other aerial bots have doubt in his ability to lead them. Throughout his little arc, he overcomes his fears and proves to his team that he can lead them. Also, having Optimus Prime's faith in him didn't hurt at all either. The G1 SilverBolt would go on to be the basis for most iterations of characters bearing the SilverBolt name. Basically, almost every SilverBolt that came after G1 is a take on the original. With that being said, I'm just going to cut to the chase and say, when I hear the name SilverBolt, this is the SilverBolt that comes to mind. I've always loved the aerial bots, and Superion is my favorite Autobot combiner. On a personal note, I connected with the G1 SilverBolt as a kid because I have a fear of heights as well. And in an ironic twist, like him, I ended up having a job that turned into a career that requires working at heights. It's funny how you can draw from things you loved as a kid to help you as an adult. I still remember being 18 and the first time I went up on my lift truck. I was scared as hell, and I seriously thought, if SilverBolt could do it, so can I. All these years later, that sounds so funny and maybe a bit ridiculous, but it helped me out then, so thank you, SilverBolt. So now that I've revealed my obvious bias towards G1 SilverBolt, believe me when I say that the Beast Wars SilverBolt is no slouch. This character bearing the name is a great character in his own right. Beast Wars SilverBolt first appeared in Season 2 of the show. This SilverBolt was a Fusor, meaning his beast mode was a mix of 2 animals, and I have to say I love this concept. It definitely makes for some cool looking characters as well as fun toys. In SilverBolt's case, he is part wolf, part eagle, and all cop. If you're old like me, you'll get the reference. If not, then yes, I'm very lame. But Beast Wars SilverBolt has much more going for him than being a cool character model and toy. Initially, he comes off like a corny caricature of a Golden Age superhero, and while he retains that throughout the Beast Wars series, he also has depth, making him more than meets the eye. And okay, I'll stop now with the lameness, I promise. As you might be able to tell, I'm corny as hell, so I think Beast Wars SilverBolt is great just by being that caricature. However, the fantastic writing that the show is known for took that and added to it an unlikely romance with the Predacon Black Arachnia that really made both characters stand out among a fantastic cast. SilverBolt is everything that comes to mind when you think of how classic heroes were portrayed. When you see him flying through the air, you almost expect to hear the Mighty Mouse "Here I Come to Save the Day" song. SilverBolt is a hero through and through and wants nothing else but to be a hero. That is until he falls for Black Arachnia. It is that hero complex and optimism that allows him to see that there is still good in Black Arachnia, so he's got a bit of Luke Skywalker going on. He never gives up on her, and his faith in her leads her to reject her Predacon programming and rejoin the Maximals. Also of note is, outside of helping her turn away from the Predacons, he doesn't try to change who she is. He accepts that she's the bad girl, but in the end will always do the right thing. All in all, Beast Wars SilverBolt is a well-written and portrayed character. Although he isn't who I immediately think of when I hear the name SilverBolt, he is still fantastic. So that's the tale of two SilverBolts. As far as which one I feel has been more impactful to the Transformers brand in general, I'd have to go with the G1 SilverBolt. That's not because of my admitted bias towards the G1. For me, it comes down to exposure. Quite simply, iterations of the G1 SilverBolt have been used much more than the Beast Wars SB. I would love to get a new Beast Wars cartoon, and if that day ever comes, let's hope that the Beast Wars SilverBolt soars through the air to save the day once again. That will wrap up this video of the first episode of Transformers What's in a Name. Comment to let me know who your favorite SilverBolt is. At the end of the day, you can't go wrong with either one. Both are great in their own way. Also, let me know what character would you like me to cover in a future episode of What's in a Name. And as always, thanks for docking.